Hi, Tyke from Groovy Entertainment. Today we have a book to read for you. Today's book is Atlanta, The Lost Empire, Kida and the Crisco from 2002. So let's get started. Long ago, a huge tidal wave headed straight for a city called Atlanta. The people of Atlanta ran for shelter, but it was helpless. The waves were about to swallow the entire island in one giant gulp. The royal family raced for the palace. This can't be happening, the king of Atlanta told himself. Atlanta was a powerful city. How could it ever be in danger? The queen reached for her daughter. Come quickly, Kida, she cried. Then a bright light lit up the sky. The light was coming from a crystal floating above the city. A beam of blue light shined on the queen. It pulled her up into the crystal. Mama, little Kida cried, but the queen had disappeared into the crystal. Suddenly, more beams of blue light shot down from the crystal. They surrounded Atlanta like a protective bubble. When the tidal wave hit, it crashed against the bubble. The city and its people were saved. But then the island of Atlanta sunk deep down into the blue ocean. It became a lost city hidden away from the rest of the world. Many, many years passed. Princess Keda grew into a strong young woman. She was curious too. She wanted to find out why Atlanta had sunk into the ocean. She could also see that the city was now becoming weak, but mostly she was worried about her weakened father. One day, Keda visited her father in his throne room. Father tells me again about the day my mother was taken away, she said. The king did not like to talk about the past. We cannot change our history, he told his daughter. Upset, Keda left the throne room. She would go hunting instead. Keda called to her warrior friends. Let's prepare for the hunt. She pulled her hunting mask over her head. Then the group set off. Keda and her friend explored a maze of caves, looking for cave beasts, but soon the hunting party came across something much more interesting. It was a group of explorers from the surface, where Keda and her warrior friend decided to follow them. After a while, one of the explorers became separated from the other. He was hurt. Keda went to take a closer look. The young man wore strange clothes. His shoulder was bleeding. Keda took off her crystal necklace and placed it on the wound. In a flash, the man was healed. The more surface people arrived. They were friends of the young man. Welcome to the city of Atlanta, Keda told them. Come, you must speak with my father. The king was not happy to see visitors. He wanted them to leave. But these people may be able to help us, the princess said. The king shook his head. He insisted that the visitor leave Atlanta the next day. Kato was disappointed. She wanted answer to her questions. She found one of the explorers waiting outside the throne room. He was the man she had held. His name was Mayo. I have some questions for you, Kata said, grabbing his arm. And you are not leaving the city until they are answered. Mayo agreed. He was just as curious about Atlanta as the princess was. The princess led Mayo to a cave. There she told him about the great flood. My father said the gods were jealous of Atlanta, so they sunk the city into the ocean. She told him about the bright light and how her mother had disappeared. You was there, Mayo cried. That would make you more than 8,000 years old. Yes, Kata replied calmly. How did you find this place? Mayo showed the princess an ancient leather book, the Shepherd Journey, or Journal. It was full of information about Atlanta. Kata stared at the worn journal. Maya was surprised to learn that she could not read. Since the Great Flood, no one had been able to read, Kata explained. Sadly, our history was lost. Suddenly, she had an idea. She led Mayo farther into the cave. Under a thick cloth stood a fish-shaped vehicle. This is explained Kata. Wow, it looked like something you would drive, said Mayo. Yes, said Kata, but I can't make it work. Mayo read the instruction carved into the top of the machine to Kata. Following them, she placed her Crisco into a slot. The vehicle started and rose into the air. With this thing, I can see the whole city in no time, Mayo shouted. Then Mayo placed his hands on the machine. Zap! It took off by itself. Bang! The machine flew around in circles, bouncing against the walls. Mayo and Kata jumped for cover. The machine stopped with a crash, so Kata showed Mayo the city on foot. They walked to the outdoor market. Are you hungry? Asked Kata. I certainly am, said Mayo. Kata went to the at the market. She bought 2 long, gooey tentacles, each wrapped around a stick. I certainly am not hungry anymore, Mayo added quickly. Kata bit off a tentacle. Tastes good, she said, offering one to Mayo. Mayo took a small bite. Not bad, but it could use some ketchup. Just as Mayo finished eating, a little girl ran up to Kata. Kata, are you coming to my birthday party? The little girl asked. Of course, said Kata. A girl doesn't reach 1,500 every day. Mayo went to the party with Kata. Mayo said. Kata, at one point, you are using an Atlanta hairbrush to eat your cake. The cake tastes even better when Mayo ate it with a Atlanta fork. Mayo and Kata left the party and climbed to the top of the hill overlooking the city. Mayo gazed down at Atlanta. The most my team hoped to find was some crummy buildings, he told Kata. Instead, we found a whole city full of people. But the princess just shook her head. Sadly, her beautiful city was slowly falling apart. Every year, it was harder to find food. Every year, her people forgot more of their history. Kata brought Mayo to a pool of water. I have brought you to this place to ask for your help, she told Mayo. Follow me. They dived into the water. Soon they were swimming past ruins of ancient buildings. Bright Merido and Atlanta right and covered the walls. This is amazing, Mayo said when they came up for air. The history of Atlanta is painted on these walls. He held up Kata glowing Crisco necklace to read the ancient writing. Kata could barely speak. Maya could tell her the whole story. At last, she would find out what had happened to her city. Does the writing say anything about the light I saw? Kata asked Mayo. They took deep breaths and swam back under the water. In one drawing, Mayo saw a large Crisco falling from the sky. In another drawing, people was wearing pieces of Crisco around their necks. Mayo and Kida swum up for air. The light that you saw, Mayo explained, is the heart of Atlanta. It is a powerful source. It kept everyone and everything in Atlanta alive. Kida remembered the last time she heard. Kida remembered the last time she had seen the healed Crisco. Her mother had floated up into the blue light. The Crisco had took the queen. As soon as she had disappeared, Atlanta had been saved from the tidal wave. The queen had given her life for the sake of the city. Kida hugged Mayo. "Thank you for your help," she said. Mayo brushed it. The princess smiled. Not only had she found out the truth about Atlanta, but she had also made a wonderful new friend. As Mayo swam back to the surface, Kida took another look at the pictures on the wall. The pictures showed the history of her city and told the story of her family. "Thank you, Mother," she thought, "for all you have done for us." Just then, the crystal around Kada's neck began to glow. Kada knew it was a message. "Be brave," the crystal seemed to say. "Be strong." And Kada was with Mayo's help. She was ready to unlock all the secret of Atlanta. So that was Atlanta, the Lost Empire, Kida and the Crisco from 2002. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a groovy day with another video coming out real soon.